One word to describe how I felt going into the quest would probably be
unsure.
At the beginning of the quest, I was a little bit, I don't know if I would say nervous, but maybe I would say apprehensive. Like I was very curious.
Apprehension.
Made me curious.
nervous, I guess.
If I could describe my feelings about the quest in one word before it started, it would be nervous.
Intrigued.
I'd say if I had to describe my feelings as I started the quest in one word, I'd use the word tentative.
Flexible.
I was definitely excited.
I would say excited.
I would say one word to describe my feelings about the quest would be just hopeful.
I'll tell you what I learned about myself is just the ability to overcome my own doubts and anxieties and that kind of thing. So vulnerability, yeah. So just putting myself out there, not being afraid of the reactions or what will come, and just being open to saying, this is real. This is authenticity and vulnerability, and valuing that and knowing that other people are going to value that too.
I think that a big thing that I've taken away from this is that, there's a lot of the problems that we think are pretty unique to our lives, and things that we're kind of struggling with, are things that really a lot of people can relate to, and in the right forum you can really grow and develop both as a person and as a leader through conversations like that.
I really enjoyed the connections I made with people I would have otherwise never met. That's been the best part for me.
But everyone came from a different part of the country. They came from a different type of chapter. And at the base of it all, there were different types of men. But having our creed in mind and them all being SigEps gave us a common ground from which we could express our different points of view and learn from each other instead of getting into an argument.
It's good to kind of be able to expand myself to people that think differently than the people that I'm constantly around. Because it's very easy for someone to get caught up in groupthink no matter where they are. And I just appreciated the opportunity that I had to meet with these guys who are clearly intelligent, competent, and they also, we didn't disagree on anything. It was just different perspectives.
Group of scholars from the Tragos scholars have a very unique place in my heart, and they symbolize opportunity.
I mean, this group of guys, I'm really just inspired. As you learn more about them, it makes you really proud to be a SigEp.
It was really incredible to see how much they opened up. They're sitting here on our laptops, right? I've met one of the other scholars in person. All the other guys I had not met before. We're all sitting there on Zoom, and these guys were opening up about a bunch of cool experiences they've had. They went deep and were talking about things that affected them in their childhood, and I think it was just really cool to see how open these guys were to talking, and it was really inspiring for me personally.
Parting message to my fellow scholars would just be thank you. A thing like this isn't possible without everyone buying in fully, and being vulnerable and things like that. And so the fact that everyone was willing and able to do that really made the quest what it was, and without them, it would not have been possible.
Thank you for investing time in this, because the more that you invested, I got something out of it, and vice versa. So I'm really grateful for that. Thank you for inspiring me to be a better SigEp, and for inspiring me to, find courage during troubling times, both, during a pandemic, but also whenever I feel discouraged within my chapter. The skills and the experiences that I've heard from these people have inspired me to be a better leader and be more resilient in my experiences. So
keep kicking ass. All of you have made it here for a reason. It was no coincidence. I've gotten to talk to some of you individually, and I've gotten to talk to all of you throughout our group chats. All of you have very fantastic things headed your way, and a lot of you are trailblazing, paving the way to success. You will falter, you will stumble, but I know that you will never give up, because you've made it this far by kicking ass, and that's what you're going to do for the rest of your life. So just keep it up, guys.
I would thank them for their resilience. one, I would thank them for that, because I mean, to kind of have that, because on top of all of us have lost something from COVID, right? That is almost universal. And these outstanding guys all lost like their internships shifted, or they had trips canceled, and to have the grit, to stick out this experience, and to stay engaged for 7 weeks, right, and to invest that many hours over the summer into that is amazing. And I was unsure about that at the beginning. I was like, okay, will people like really still fully invest themselves? And they did. And I'm so appreciative of that. Like reading through the materials and connecting outside of even the allotted time, showing up for the wild card rounds that they kept us on our toes with, right? So I would thank them for that. And I would also, I mean, if I had a message, I would say I can't wait to meet them all in person.
Thank you for the experience. Also, like, thank you for like being vulnerable and open, and like good to bounce off ideas, whether I sounded dumb or they sounded dumb, or if we both sounded right and righteous. It was just like nice to have an open space to talk about some things.
To the group at large that went on this quest, this virtual quest together, I think that I would say that I've really enjoyed everybody's willingness to be open and really try to make the best of this very bizarre situation, and that I look forward to the continued relationship and continuing to exchange ideas, talk every once in a while, and hopefully looking forward to meeting up in person at some point.
From my experience, hearing them talk and their experiences, I would just tell them that there's absolutely nothing that they can't do. That if there's anything that they're looking for, anything they're trying to shoot for, that they should just go out and do it. Don't hold back, because I've never met more accomplished and more driven people, and they should shoot for the stars.
Since we started this whole conversation virtually, and I feel like I'm still going to be in touch virtually with everybody. I have my group chats and everybody's contact information. It's funny because the quest is ending, but it doesn't really feel like it's necessarily ending, because it all started virtually, and I still have the connection virtually.
I'm glad it's over because it was a good experience, but I wish I could like do it again.
Driven because this 7 weeks, I feel that all of the information has been absolutely outstanding. I just feel like I couldn't get enough of it.
I would say in the end of this quest, I think I leave it as hopeful.
If I had to pick a word for the end of the quest, it would be challenged.
I would say like connections would be the one word I used to describe my feelings towards the end now.
I would say satisfied. I think my word would be satisfied.
I'd say reflective.
Excited. I think
Grateful. Overall interesting.
My feelings, kind of looking back on the quest at the end of it, are I'm mostly just grateful.